I'm an IMDT qualified instructor in the Surrey and Hampshire border. IMDT stands for the Institute of Modern Dog Trainers and is an organisation that uses kind reward-based training techniques to train the dogs. Today I'm going to be teaching the dogs to sit. I'm going to train one dog at a time so you can see how it's done with just the one dog. My two dogs here, I've got Ruby, my little red spaniel, and Marley, my little Jack Russell. They're both rescue dogs, and Ruby's approximately coming up to 8 years. Marley's around 11 or 12 years old now, so they are older dogs. The training techniques that I'm going to give you are to be used with any age dog from puppy up to adult. It's absolutely fine. Okay, so I've put Marley to one side and I've got Ruby set up here, ready to train. Now, what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is to show Ruby what she's going to be working for, which is a little bit of the lamb's lung that I've got for her. I train using all fresh ingredients and I feed my dogs on raw food and I feed them as natural treats as I possibly can. They usually get something like a sprat, which is a little fish. Today I'm using lamb's lung, so anything natural is what I tend to use. So what I'm going to do is just show her what I'm using. I've also got a clicker to train with as well. A clicker is a type of marker training, and this is going to pinpoint the exact moment that she does the correct behaviour. I'm going to click my clicker, give her the food, and then the idea is if we keep going clicker and treating every time she does something good, then that's going to encourage her to repeat that behaviour again. So if she didn't know what she was doing, what I'm going to do is offer her the treat, and I'm going to help to lure her into the sit position by lifting my hand up so she looks up, and then pushing it slightly backwards so that she looks behind herself, and hopefully then her bottom will hit onto the floor. At that exact point I'm going to click my clicker and release the food to her. Yeah, so her legs came up slightly then, that's not a problem. I'm just going to make sure I do that again and try and click when her legs are all on the floor so we don't encourage the front legs to come up as well. That's better. Okay. I'm going to do this a few repetitions so she really knows what's going on before I even start to put the vocal command in, the vocal cue, which for Ruby is going to be sit. So her legs came up, so I made sure I didn't click until the legs went back down again. So I'm going to try one more time and then I'm going to add the word in. I'm just going to get her up and turn her around. There we go. Okay. So this time I'm going to put the verbal cue in there as well, so we can start to combine the hand signal and the verbal cue so she knows exactly what's expected when we do those things. Sit. So I'm only saying sit when she's in that position. At the moment I'm going to assume she has no idea what sit means, especially if we're talking about a little puppy that we're training and they've never done this before. There's no point saying sit until they're in that position, otherwise you will be confusing them as to what sit actually means. Well done. Okay, I'm going to try and build up a little bit of distance with her now. So now that I know that she's sitting, and we would repeat this many times over if we're doing it with a little puppy or a dog that's never done this before. But I'm going to try and build up a little bit of distance from Ruby now. So she's in her sit position, which is lovely, and then I'm going to start clicking and treating for the amount of time that she stays in there. So if this is the first time she sat, sit. I'm going to give her a treat. And I'm going to keep the clicks and the treats coming to let her know that all the time she's in this position, she's earning food. So I'm going to start with it pretty rapid, and I'm going to start to slow this down. When I know that my dog is likely to stay there, I'm going to slow this down and see if we can get a good few seconds between each click and treat. Girl. I don't need to keep saying sit, she's already in that position. As long as she stays there, then that's fine. If the dog gets up, which she's doing out here, I'm just going to show her the food and we're just going to start the process again. Just a little side point, Ruby is almost completely deaf, so if you see me just touching her to get her attention, that's why, because she can't actually hear me. So the verbal cues that I'm saying to Ruby are more for you than they are for her, she can't hear me. Sit. She can just about hear the clicker. That's about as far as it goes, and a very high pitched whistle. Okay, so we know she's able to stay there pretty well now, so I'm going to start creating a little bit of distance. So to start with, we're going to start very, very small. I'm just going to go 1 foot out, click, come back in, and reward my dog. And I'm going to do the same with the other foot. So out, click, at the point that the foot is out, you're telling to your dog that when I do this, this is what you're actually getting the reward for, not necessarily because I'm always coming back in. Okay, she's doing well, so I'm going to try for a whole step this time. So hand out of treat pocket, she only gets the treat once I've clicked my clicker. So 1 step. She stayed there, so she's got to click. I'm going to go back in and reward my dog. I'm going to try that again. Good girl. Oh, throwing a treat over your head there, Ruby. Let's start that again. It's here. Sit. Good girl. Okay, if we've had to start again, I'll just go back to the basics just for a second, just to remind her exactly what we're after. She thinks the treat's still on the floor. Sit. Girl. Okay, now I know she's stable in her sit, I'm going to start moving again. Oh, she's laid down. Oh, she came back up, so I'll let her have that treat. I think she's getting tired. Good girl. And if the dog does make a mistake, that's absolutely fine. They're dogs, they're not robots. It's not a problem. Good girl. And try for 2 steps this time. Okay, she's laying down, so she's tired, so I'm going to get her back into that sit. And I'm not going to give her a treat this time. I'm going to start again with 1 step. That's better. Good girl. Try for 2 steps again. That's better. Let's try for 3. Good. This time I'm going to try for those 3 steps. I'm just going to hover just for a couple of seconds and see if she still stays there. Good girl. Okay, I'm going to up it slightly now. I'm going to turn my back on her to walk away. But I'm going to start this in stages. So to start with, all I'm going to do is just turn my back, click because she hasn't moved, and go back and reward. Now I'm going to turn my back, take 1 little step, click, go back and reward. Now up it to a couple of steps. Don't want to go too far out of shot, so I don't go too far. Okay. This time I'm going to turn my back and I'm going to move a little bit quicker. Okay, might even put a little bit of a hand motion in there this time, just to see if a distraction will get her moving, or if she's so solid that she'll stay there. I think she thinks the food's fallen on the floor. I'm going to bring her back up. That's it. Got another little dog here, so I'm just going to throw her some food. Keep her happy. Okay. So I'm going to walk away. I'm going to move my arms a little bit. Oh, she's got up because she thinks there's food on the floor. There we go. So I've gone back, I've done my hand signal again for her. You can hear a dog sneezing in the background. Okay, let's try that again. Move my arms. Oh, she came away, so we're going to start that again. Okay, no treat this time. I want her to understand that there's more to the exercise. That's better. Girl. And then again. That's it. Good girl. And again, I'm clicking when I'm at that distance, making those hand gestures. Good girl. I might even try and run backwards away from her now. Good. So really trying to proof this sit with her. Okay, I'm going to run away, facing the other way now. Just remind her that I'm the one with the food. That's it. Good. Keep my other little dog happy. There we go. This time I'm going to run away, and I'm going to put a couple of star jumps in there as well. Big distraction this time. So she stayed there, so she gets a click and a treat. The last thing we're going to try is moving around her and see if she'll stay sat. So again, I'm going to break this up into small chunks. I'm not just going to start by doing a whole circle around her. She's got up, so we need to just get her back into that sit and start again. Ruby, sit. Yeah. Move away, come back in, wood. And again. Yeah. A little bit further this time. That's it. She gets up and just asking her to come back into that sit again. So she's moving around this time. She's going to start again. No treat because we're starting the exercise again. Want her to know there's more to it. I don't mind her turning her head as long as she doesn't get up. She's got up, so try again. She's doing spins for me. Yeah. That's good. She can look round, but she can't get up. We've managed to do a whole circle round for this time, so I'll just try and go back the other way. Oh, she's taking her time on that treat. Just to mention, my treats are very, very small because we do get through quite a lot. Try and do a full circle around her again. Good girl. Okay, I'll leave it there for her at the moment because I think she's starting to get a bit tired. So I'm going to now release her. Okay. Good girl. So when I've released her, I've said, okay, come on. For her, I've used a hand signal because obviously she can't hear me very well. And that means that she can now get up and she can now relax. Thank you. I will probably have a little bit of a break and then I'll try the same with my other dog and probably pop that on another video so you can see two dogs doing it. Thank you very much. I hope that this has given you some tips on how to get the dogs to sit and to stay in that position. You may have noticed that I at no point use the word sit, wait or stay. You really don't need to. If you've taught your dog to sit and it is a solid sit, there's no need to have any other backup commands, which is great news because it means you don't have to add too many words into your training. And try and keep it fun. If she was switching off, then we would end on a high, leave it there, and then maybe try again a little bit later for her. So thank you again. I am Ellen from Paws Pet Services. I am DT qualified instructor in the Surrey and Hampshire border. One thing to mention is these videos are intended for clients of mine or people that have previously been to classes. It is not a substitute for puppy classes. We need the socialisation for these dogs and the advice of the trainer there and then so they can actually watch you doing these particular commands with your dog and make sure you're doing them properly. Just watching a video will give you hints and tips on it, and it's great for clients, like I said, that have done the classes and just need a little bit of a reminder, but please don't use them to substitute your classes. Thank you very much, and I will put another video up soon. Thank you.